now starting, you can see, pushing on here at the front. So got strength in numbers at the front here. Anything you could pull out from Jürgen's interview there, Jens?
Yeah, he's wanting the riders not to play team tactics too early in the race, and apparently that's what we're seeing as well, with he's a bit closing that gap to Michael van Toornout, or at least trying to. He's not quite there yet, but yeah, not sitting back and letting Michael van Toornout go up the road yet. But well, if you want to close the gap to your teammate, this is the way to do it, because Van Kessel is not on the wheel at the moment, and that's probably positive for the team. If these two can come together and maybe work together for a little bit, then they've got a good chance to get away.
It is key in cyclocross. We don't always see a huge amount of team tactics. We've seen more over the last few years from Pau Sals and Mingol in terms of team tactics and working together. But yeah, if you're going to get up to your teammate, make sure you don't drag everyone up there with you. Through the sand, Michael van Toornout nails it this time. Corny van Kessel has had good power through there. Ryan Kamp there, just going through ahead of Jens Adams and Laurent Sweeck. Their former teammate now with Ike Kreulens. We'll see how, you know, it'll be interesting to see how that, you know, having that little bit of freedom for Laurent Sweeck works this season.
Yeah, well, at the moment it works such that he's having to close gaps to his former teammates, because Ryan Kamp is cross, and that's still a question.
So the head of the race, Michael van Toornout and Eli Isabit, and then a gap back to your four chasers, Laurent Sweeck, Ryan Kamp, Jens Adams and Corny van Kessel. He's done a lot of work at the start, but now it's up to Laurent Sweeck. So he said to chase down his two former teammates. We go through at the end of that lap, 18 minutes and 37 seconds of racing so far. We're starting lap 4 of 10, and it's 7 seconds back to Sweeck. Lars van der Haar leading Vitze Musen and Emil Verstringer and Jente Michaels and Anton Ferdinand and Tom Meusen go through next. So 7 seconds, still close.
Seconds in a very strong way, as team manager was just saying. Not jumping the barriers, but probably not a huge deficit in this course. And yeah, he's in the mix. And what Chris Wouters, his team manager, was saying was also doesn't really believe in those on this sort of course and to play, because Ryan Kamp is the third rider from Pau Sals and Bingo in the first 4 riders, and behind that we see Lars van der Haar and Corny van Kessel trying to come back as well. Quite enough to prevent Laurent Sweeck coming in with to crash down, but yeah, he's in pain, I think, and yes, his shoe is definitely not complete. Wonder what is the main thing that's causing him to go slowly, but I think that's the race over for him.
Oh, what a shame. 30 minutes and 48 seconds of racing, but Eli Isabit, Michael van Toornout with Lars van der Haar now getting on Vitze Musen, Jens Adams and Toon van den Bosch chasing Corny van Kessel and Ryan Kamp, who are now at 13 seconds. So they go through. What a shame for Laurent Sweeck. It did look like it. You know, you go down like that, you can just whack a knee. You know, that kind of thing when you go down that heavy on the step such as that. And he's got a new shoe and a new. See if he can onto the climb, and Van Toornout repay what Michael van Toornout did for him with Laurent Sweeck. Lars van der Haar, though, we know will be mindful of that, but out of that turn as Isabit and Van Toornout, has Lars van der Haar going to pay for that chase that he's had to put in, but gets around to the top of that section. Ryan Kamp having a good day out there as well, the teammate of our two leaders, Baloise Trek Lions rider in that European Champions jersey. He's got them in his sight. Can he find his way back on? It's just, this is what takes its toll on you, Jens, having to make, you know, if you've made that long chase.
De 2 vooraan of de 3, die maken nu natuurlijk serieus tempo, dus die gaan niet wachten.
Dankjewel.
Laurent Sweeck's dad and his mechanic there, Jens, just giving us a bit of an insight into what's gone on.
Yeah, a bit of a painful shin for him after that crash, as we saw him slide out on the steps there. Not a great day for him. It was looking quite good, but unfortunately taken out of the fight for the win.
So there you have it. So Elisabeth van der Haar, Van Torenhout, Van Kessel, Kamp, Witsemius and
up to the sand now with Lars van der Haar, who did a really good section last lap. So I'm curious if he's going to be able to maybe get a little bit of a gap now.
Yeah, Lars van der Haar into the sand leading Van Torenhout and Elisabeth. Is there a moment here for Lars van der Haar? Michael Van Torenhout carries good speed. Elisabeth just losing a touch there, Jens.
One of those things, if you made a few mistakes, so maybe the confidence has gone a little bit, and you have to go into that sand with confidence to make it through. And yeah, he's lost a bit of time now, but of course that means that Van der Haar is going to do all the riding on the front. Van Torenhout won't contribute, and that could be good for Van Torenhout in the long run, but it could also mean that Elisabeth comes back, and that's probably the goal of that team, to try to work over Lars van der Haar this way. But yeah, Van der Haar now taking the fight to them, which is probably the way to take this on.
Yeah, and you can see just how much time. You just watch Elisabeth, and you can see that both Van Torenhout and Van der Haar have got that groove dialed in, and Elisabeth's just his bike just jumping around from groove to groove. We drop down onto the track. We're going to come round and start lap 8. For Van der Haar is going to press on at the front. Van Torenhout, though, will potentially want his teammate to try and come back up to be able to work over Lars van der Haar. Now, section made for Lars van der Haar and Michael Van Torenhout. 43 minutes and 1 minute of racing so far. 3 seconds now back to Elisabeth. And then out of that corner, Ryan Kamp and Corne Van Kessel onto the bridge. Van der Haar. Elisabeth's got to use the big bank section of this course potentially to try and get back up to the front. Gap he's managed to take out now over Lars van. So on lap 9 of 10 here for Van der Haar and Elisabeth chasing down. This is Van Torenhout's race winning attempt now.
Yeah, he's going to have to keep this going if he wants to win. And if Van der Haar comes back, I think Van Torenhout's going to have some real trouble, because he should commit to this attack now. There's only 2 laps to go. He can carry that to the finish. And this is Laurens Sweeck making it up to the edge of the top 5. So I think he might be able to go for that 4th place after all.
So Laurens Sweeck, if you're just joining us and you weren't with us earlier on, Laurens Sweeck making it up to the front, and then unfortunately taking a tumble, for want of a better word, on the steps as Jente Michaels there looking for some help. 7 seconds of racing.
Also in the top 10. Those are 2 of the under-23s, so it's also good to keep an eye on ahead of the big championships for that category. Of course, they are not racing the separate races as much anymore as they used to. But I think it's Elisabeth now making a move for 2nd place, and he's got a bit of a gap already.
Elisabeth absolutely exploding up that bank. You would say they carried great speed and momentum into it. Kicks it out of that turn. He knows that his teammate just ahead of him, Lars van der Haar, is going to try and keep the 2 of them in his sight here. Van Torenhout cannot afford any mistakes at all. But once he's got that gap, it just frees up Elisabeth to be able to chase that 2nd spot on the podium. And it's been a tough day out for Lars van der Haar, and maybe without that.